5 things women notice about you immediately without saying it. What if I told you that women are noticing everything about you before you even say a single word? Not just how you look, but how you walk into a room, how you treat the people around you, how you carry your energy, even how you listen. You think it's your pickup line or your style that makes the first impression? Think again, because the truth is, she already knows something about you the moment you show up. And she might never say it out loud. In this video, we're diving into 5 things women notice about you immediately. The subtle, powerful, silent cues that either draw her in or push her away. This isn't about tricks, this is about truth. And by the end of this video, you'll understand how to show up as the kind of man who doesn't chase attention, he earns it. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear could change how every woman sees you, starting today. Women are naturally intuitive, often picking up subtle emotional and behavioral cues before a man even opens his mouth. This ability isn't mystical, it's evolved, learned, and deeply ingrained through experience. When we talk about the idea that your energy and presence walk into the room before you do, we're describing something profoundly real and impactful. Before you get a chance to show your personality, tell your story, or even smile, a woman has already felt something about you. That feeling comes from your energy, your state of being in that moment. It's the invisible current you carry that reveals confidence, insecurity, calmness, or chaos. This isn't about being loud, dominant, or flashy. True presence is quiet but commanding. It's the calm eye in the center of the storm. It's how grounded you are in yourself. When you walk into a room with a relaxed posture, intentional steps, and stillness in your eyes, people feel it. Women feel it even more because they're biologically and socially trained to notice things that might signal emotional safety or danger. That awareness is instant. She doesn't need to analyze it. Her body does it for her. She might not say it, but she knows when a man is emotionally settled. She can also sense when a man is putting on a front, talking too much, moving too fast, laughing too hard. It might look confident on the surface, but something feels off, and that off is enough to create distance. What's often misunderstood is that confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about being congruent. It's when your words, body, and emotions are aligned. When a man is comfortable in his own skin, it shows. He doesn't need approval to feel valuable. He isn't performing, he's being. And that authenticity is magnetic. The room slows down around him. He listens more than he talks. His presence doesn't demand attention, it earns it. This is the kind of energy that draws women in without effort because it signals maturity, control, and emotional intelligence. On the flip side, if your energy is anxious, scattered, or needy, that's felt too. You could be well-dressed, charming, and funny, but if the core of you is restless, it leaks out in your micro-expressions, your pace, your tone. You might interrupt others or need validation to feel okay. These things don't make you a bad person. They make you human. But they also reveal a disconnect. And women are especially tuned into these disconnects. They've had to be. Life experience teaches them to sense when something isn't safe, or when a person's intentions are unclear. That's why the most powerful thing you can work on as a man isn't your lines, your income, or your muscles. It's your internal state. When you enter a room from a place of groundedness, you don't have to do anything dramatic. Your calm, focused energy says it all. It communicates strength without aggression, openness without desperation, confidence without ego. And because it's real, it lasts. The next time you walk into a room, recognize that your energy is already making an introduction. If you're centered, present, and in tune with yourself, that introduction will be powerful. Not because you said anything, but because she felt everything. Want to dive deeper into what makes your energy magnetic and how to build that real inner confidence? Grooming and style are often misunderstood as surface-level concerns, but they are actually silent indicators of self-awareness, self-respect, and emotional maturity. When a woman first sees you, long before she knows your values or hears your story, she sees how you present yourself to the world. And make no mistake, she's not checking labels, brand names, or whether you look like a model. She's looking for something deeper. She's decoding what your appearance says about how you live, how you think, and how much you care, not just about yourself, but about how you affect those around you. The truth is, grooming isn't vanity, it's a signal. It's a sign that you are intentional about your life. The effort you put into being clean, well-dressed, and put together communicates that you take pride in who you are. That pride doesn't mean arrogance. It means you show up like a man who values his time, his choices, and the impression he leaves behind. A fresh haircut, trimmed beard, clean nails, subtle cologne, and clothes that fit your body. These aren't extras, they're foundation. They reflect discipline, they reflect respect, not just for you, but for her too. When a woman sees a man who clearly takes time to groom himself, it doesn't make her think he's superficial, it makes her feel he's dependable. Think about it. If you can't even maintain the basics of your personal appearance, what does that say about how you handle stress, responsibility, or relationships? Women don't need perfection. They look for consistency. And consistency often reveals itself in the way you maintain the small things. Dirty shoes, unkempt hair, wrinkled shirts. These may seem like minor details, but they send messages about your standards, about your mindset, about how seriously you take your own life. Style is another powerful form of communication. It tells her whether you understand yourself, whether you're still chasing trends to impress others, or if you've grown into a style that represents who you are. A man's clothing doesn't need to be expensive. It needs to be deliberate. Do your clothes fit you well? Are they appropriate for the space you're in? Are you dressing in a way that reflects maturity, awareness, and confidence? These questions matter more than you think. Because when a woman sees a man who knows his look, owns his presence, and wears it without apology, she feels something. She feels safe. She feels curious. She feels your leadership. Even your scent is powerful. Smell is directly connected to memory and emotion. A subtle, clean cologne, or even just the smell of freshness, can leave a lasting impression. It doesn't scream for attention, but it creates an atmosphere around you. A quiet signal that you are thoughtful about details, that you care how you move through the world. Women notice all of this without needing to point it out. They notice the man who took 10 extra minutes to iron his shirt, the one who walked in with posture, composure, and presence. They notice the one who respects himself enough to show up with excellence, not to impress, but because it's who he is. That's the deeper truth about grooming and style. It's not about her opinion, it's about your identity. And when a woman sees a man whose outer world reflects a strong inner world, she doesn't just see it, she feels it. Would you like me to unpack how style affects confidence, or how to develop your signature look without trends? Body language is the first language you ever spoke. Long before you learned to express yourself with words, your body was already communicating how you felt, what you needed, and what you feared. That language never left you. It just became more subtle, more powerful, and more revealing. When you walk into a room or meet a woman for the first time, your body is already saying things you haven't put into words, and she's listening not with her ears, but with her intuition. Women are incredibly attuned to non-verbal cues, often picking up micro behaviors that even you don't realize you're expressing. The way you stand, where your eyes go, how you move your hands, and even how you breathe all communicate messages. If your posture is slouched, your shoulders are hunched, or your arms are crossed tightly, it's a sign of defensiveness, insecurity, or anxiety. You may not feel that way consciously, but your body is revealing what's happening underneath the surface. On the other hand, open posture, shoulders back, chest up, head level, signals confidence, stability, and emotional presence. These are not just attractive traits, they're foundational traits that make a woman feel safe, respected, and seen. Women don't look for dominance, they look for congruence. That means your words, your eyes, your body, and your energy all say the same thing. If you say you're calm, but your foot is tapping and you're shifting your gaze around the room, there's a disconnect, and she'll feel it. That incongruence creates uncertainty, and uncertainty is unattractive, not because she's being harsh, but because her subconscious is designed to filter out people who feel unsafe, inconsistent, or emotionally unavailable. You could be saying all the right things, but if your body language doesn't match, the message won't land. Eye contact alone says volumes. It reveals whether you're engaged or distracted, grounded or nervous. Too much eye contact becomes aggressive, too little becomes evasive. But steady, calm eye contact communicates confidence and interest without pressure. It shows you're present. It shows you're not afraid to be seen. And more importantly, you're not afraid to see her. That kind of presence is rare and it's magnetic. A woman will remember a man who looked at her like she mattered, not like a conquest, but like a person. The way you move also tells her about your mindset. Rushed movements can suggest nervous energy or lack of control. Stillness, on the other hand, speaks of patience, inner peace, and power. A man who doesn't fidget, doesn't rush, and doesn't try to fill every silence with words is a man who knows who he is. He's comfortable in silence, and that silence speaks louder than most people's small talk ever could. Even small gestures, how you shake hands, how you lean in during conversation, how you gesture when speaking, are interpreted quickly. Women instinctively register whether your gestures are open or closed, expressive or reserved, authentic or forced. You may not even be aware of these habits, but she is. Because body language isn't just a part of how she experiences you, it's the first and most trusted filter she uses. The reason all of this matters isn't to impress her, it's to express the truth about who you are. And the truth always finds its way to the surface. If your body language shows presence, groundedness, and openness, she'll notice. She may not comment on it. She may not even consciously realize why she's drawn to you, but the body speaks and she hears it. Want help becoming more aware of your body language signals, or learning how to project quiet confidence without words? How you interact with others when you're not trying to impress anyone says more about your character than anything you'll ever say directly to a woman. She watches the way you treat people around you, and often without even realizing it, she forms a picture of the kind of man you are. It's in the way you greet the server, how you respond to someone who interrupts, how you talk about your friends, your family, or even your ex. These moments, small and seemingly insignificant, are windows into how you operate when the spotlight isn't on you. And women pay attention, not because they're judging you, but because they're instinctively gathering evidence of whether you're emotionally safe, mature, and consistent. A woman doesn't just want to know how you'll treat her on the first few dates. She wants to know how you'll treat her when life gets difficult, how you'll speak to her when you're frustrated, how you'll respond to her emotions when she's overwhelmed. And believe it or not, your interactions with other people are often the clearest indicators of how you'll handle those things. If you're dismissive to strangers, rude to staff, or constantly negative about people in your life, you're showing her a pattern. You're telling her without saying it out loud that you might be kind and engaging now, but that could change once comfort or pressure sets in. It's also about emotional intelligence. Can you read the room? Do you show empathy when someone is struggling? Are you able to give someone the benefit of the doubt, or do you jump straight to criticism? These are subtle signals of your maturity and relational depth. When a woman sees you taking time to thank someone sincerely, to be patient with a mistake, or to show humility in a disagreement, it tells her that you're not ruled by ego. It tells her that you know how to lead with respect rather than control. That's attractive, not because it makes you look good, but because it makes her feel safe. It's a sign that your strength doesn't come at the expense of compassion. It's also in the way you handle your conversations. Are you someone who constantly talks over others to prove your point, or do you listen and create space for people to speak? Do you dominate the group just to feel seen, or do you contribute with presence and humility? These are the things she notices. When a woman watches you in a social setting, she's not just observing your confidence, she's watching your impact. Do people seem more relaxed around you or more tense? Do you lift the atmosphere or drain it? That emotional footprint matters. Because one day, she may be sharing a life with you, and the way you treat people now will be the way you treat her later. Your actions in the background are louder than anything you do in the spotlight. Being respectful to a stranger when no one's watching, choosing kindness when it's inconvenient, staying calm when it would be easier to lash out. Those are the moments that reveal your integrity. A woman may not compliment you for them, but she absolutely takes mental note, because deep down she knows that real love isn't built on charm or attraction alone. It's built on trust, and trust begins with consistency. Would you like to explore how to build emotional intelligence through small actions, or how to develop natural leadership in your relationships? Listening is one of the most underrated and powerful traits a man can possess. It's not flashy. It doesn't get immediate attention like a strong jawline or a witty one-liner. But for women who are emotionally in tune, it's one of the clearest indicators of depth, safety, and relational intelligence. The moment you begin speaking with her, she's not just hearing your words, she's watching your attention. Is your focus steady, or are your eyes scanning the room? Are you hearing what she's saying, or just waiting for your turn to respond? These subtle moments form her impression of you, sometimes more than the content of what you actually say. Women notice quickly whether a man is truly present. Presence doesn't mean being physically there. It means being mentally and emotionally engaged. You can't fake it. If you're distracted, bored, or too focused on impressing her, she'll sense it. Your nods might be timed, your responses might be appropriate, but the connection won't feel real. On the other hand, when you lean in, hold eye contact, and actually absorb what she's saying, something changes. She feels safe, she feels heard, and she begins to open up, not because you asked the perfect question, but because you gave her space to be seen, without rushing to fix, judge, or redirect the conversation. Real listening is rare. Most people listen with the intent to reply, not with the intent to understand. But when you listen with no agenda, just genuine curiosity, you separate yourself instantly. You show her that her words matter to you, that you're not just interested in what she looks like, but in who she is. And that, to many women, is more attractive than any compliment or bold gesture. It's not about having the right answer. It's about holding space. It's about being the kind of man who can sit with her words even when there's no punchline, no climax, no drama, just truth. Listening also shows your emotional control. Men who interrupt, dominate conversations, or constantly shift the focus back to themselves often do so from insecurity. It's a way to maintain control or to avoid vulnerability. But a man who listens, truly listens, demonstrates inner strength. He shows he's not threatened by silence. He doesn't need to fill every gap with noise. And in doing so, he creates a space that most women are starving for, a space where they can just be. She notices your body language when you're listening. Are you leaning back with crossed arms or leaning forward with open posture? Are your expressions showing curiosity or impatience? Do your questions follow what she's sharing, or are they disconnected, rehearsed, and rushed? All of this tells her how safe she can feel with you, because when a woman shares something personal, vulnerable, or even just meaningful, she's not just giving you information. She's testing your presence. She's looking to see if you're really there or if you're just playing the part to win her over. And here's the thing, she might not call you out on poor listening. She may smile politely, continue the conversation, and seem engaged, but emotionally, she's already withdrawn. She's already made a mental note that this isn't someone who holds space well. You won't know it because she won't announce it, but she knows. And on the flip side, if you're someone who consistently listens with care, curiosity, and attention, she'll feel more drawn to you than almost anything else. Want guidance on how to develop deep listening habits or connect through intentional presence in conversations? In the end, attraction isn't just about looks, lined, or luck. It's about awareness. Women notice more than they'll ever say out loud, and what they pick up on goes far beyond surface-level impressions. Your energy speaks before your words do. Your grooming and style reflect your discipline and self-respect. Your body language exposes your internal world, even when your mouth says something else. The way you treat others reveals your true character, especially when no one's watching. And your ability to truly listen shows whether you're emotionally available or just playing a part. These aren't tricks, they're truths. When you take responsibility for how you show up in these 5 areas, you naturally become the kind of man who draws others in, not with performance, but with presence, purpose, and consistency. Thank you for taking the time to listen, reflect, and grow. Your willingness to lean into these deeper insights is what separates the average from the exceptional. Keep showing up, keep refining, and most importantly, keep becoming the man you are meant to be.